Mr. Lim, thank you so much for sharing your perspective. I believe that our countries share more than one thing on the cyber front lines, and thanks for sharing that with us. We would like to move forward to the panel, and to start the panel, I would like to invite my fellow panelists to the stage, Mr. Eli Itzhaki, Mr. Avi Chesla, Mr. Tal Moses, Mr. Yair Cohen, and Andrei Dolkin. Please take your seats here at the panel. And in the control, if you can set up the movie and my presentation. Presentation first, yes. Okay, so that's how it's going to work for the next session. Essentially what we're going to do, we know it's the afternoon, we're going to keep things relatively short, and I'm actually going to lead by examples, so we're going to restrict it to about 5 or 6 minutes per presentation, and then we're going to have a little bit of a discussion on the stage, and we'll invite you guys to ask questions as well. To start my presentation, I would like to share with you the output of one of our portfolio companies, actually not in the cyberspace, a company called AnyClip. What they do, they actually aggregate a lot of video clips from tens of thousands of movies, and then you can search on a keyword, and it will automatically pull the most relevant video clips out of those movies, and then you can compile a short clip out of that. So when I searched on cybersecurity, let's see what came up out of AnyClip. If you can play the movie. No. If you can play the movie, not the presentation. Okay, it's the MP4 file in the directory. Okay, thank you. If you can switch back to the presentation. So that's the interesting part, that you know, that's what Hollywood thinks about cybersecurity right now. And as we all know, it looks pretty different. You know, those of you who are involved in cybersecurity, whether on the offense or the defense side, knows that serious attacks do not look like that anymore. And that's for us at JVP, as a venture capital fund that focuses on cybersecurity investments, is actually a very interesting opportunity. You know, we participate in many conferences in different industries, and I must admit that that's the only industry that one vendor after the other come on stage and says that they don't have a solution that works. You know, it's a fascinating statement. For us as an investor, that means that there is an opportunity. And the opportunity, as we see it, is actually in the changing landscape of the cybersecurity industry. And I think there was a lot of discussions through the day why perimeter defense is not working anymore, why you cannot trust the identity of the people and the assets that works within the organization, and why just putting those walls around your organization is not good enough. And for us, what it means at JVP is that there is a whole new place for creating new startups. New startups that addresses the upcoming challenges and the existing challenges in the cybersecurity front. New startups that come from the new technologies that were introduced, that all of them are vulnerable to security threats. Whether it's more and more cloud services that are coming out, whether it's the mobile devices that are the source of many of the existing threats, the bring your own device phenomena. So that's a phenomena that we all familiar with today. We actually started a company more than a year ago in that space, AE Square, that is already moving ahead and having their first installs and their institutional A round put together. And other areas that are on the front of security, and for us, each one of them is actually the opportunity to create a new company. So that's why we invest in cybersecurity. Why we do that out of Israel, at least for us, is pretty obvious, not only because we're based in Israel, but because we believe in Israel you have the ecosystem that really thrives for these new exciting startups. You have it, we have it all around us. We have it by the large companies that were already created in the space of security, whether it's the checkpoints and the NICE and the CyberArks and others. Whether it's the multinationals that moved into Israel and created design centers that are very relevant to security. Of course, all the different governmental departments that provide support, but also talent into new startups, and the academia, which is very strong obviously here in Tel Aviv University, but not only in Tel Aviv. So what are we doing about it at JVP? We've defined within the cybersecurity space a few themes that we're focusing on. Obviously, we revise those themes once in a while. Our current themes evolve around APTs and zero-day attacks, a lot of that coming from big data analysis, identity authentication, next-generation WAF, endpoint security, and of course things like cloud security. We already created and sold one of our companies in that space, Navajo, that was sold to Salesforce.com about a year ago, really provided a way of encrypting data in the cloud, so it's only accessible to the user of that data and not to the actual operator of the cloud service. So these are some of the themes that we're currently focusing on and actively searching, as you can see on the slides, for startups in that space. And where we do a lot of that work is not here in Tel Aviv, and actually not even in Herzliya. And for our cyber initiative, after we've been approached by different countries and different cities around the world to open up another incubator beyond the one we operate in Jerusalem, we ended up opening up our next incubator in Beersheba. And what we like about Beersheba is that, one, it's off the beaten track, and as investors we always look for the things that are off the beaten track. Two, Ben Gurion University is actually the fastest growing university in Israel. And the talent that you have there, and we have people here from EMC that already opened very significant design center down there. I was amazed to see the kind of talent they have there. But very talented graduates of that university. Of course, the move of the technology military units down to Beersheba is something that we are looking for in the next couple of years. And the design centers of the likes of EMC, Deutsche Telekom, NES, and others provide us with the right ecosystem. And in the middle of all that, we opened up our cyber incubator, and that's where we're going to put our focus in the next few years. So I hear the bell ringing, and I promise to give to lead by example. So that's my last slide. And again, startups in the audience, please, my colleagues here, Nimrod and Yoav, are in the audience, and we'll be happy to take your questions and actually look at your ideas for our cyber incubator. I would like to invite our next presenter and our next panelist. I'm going to switch to to Hebrew. אלי יצחקי מאלטה. אלי הוא המוביל של תחום האסטרטגיה והפיתוח העסקי בתחום הסייבר באלטה. אלי סיים את תפקידו ב-2010 כסגן נשיא של חטיבת המל"טים והמערכות המתקדמות בארגון, ולפני כן הוא הוביל את תחום המל"טים והמערכות הטקטיות באלביט. לפני זה היה מנכ"ל רפאל, ועוד לפני כל זה, מנכ"ל רפאל ארצות הברית, סליחה, עוד לפני כל זה הספיק לרשום קריירה מרשימה של 31 שנים בחיל האוויר, ועדיין להיראות כל כך צעיר. אז אני מזמין את אלי להצטרף אלינו. אני חושב שאחד הדברים שדיברנו עליו גם עם כל הניסיון של אלטה במערכות של חוזי ומודיעין חוזי, אנחנו יודעים שגם המערכות האלה היום חשופות, ויהיה מאוד מעניין לשמוע אם באלטה עובדים גם על הפתרונות שיגנו על המערכות האלה, הדברים כמובן שאתה יכול to share with us.